And welcome back to the start of PSORC season number 12, the start of the season. Here we start out with the classic cars, the 1995 Ferraris at Circuit Spa Francorchamps. Hello everybody, my name is Alan Cavagnaro, and I will be in the booth with you for season number 12 of PSORC, running on board with Flexi. And right now, like we said, we're at the first round, and 5 or 6 drivers who cannot show up today, so that leaves us with just 10 currently fitted. Why don't we actually currently fitted right there for all the tires? And luckily I can see everyone's name compared to a couple minutes ago, and someone joined at the last second and I cannot see their name. Let me put on the broadcast. But yeah, hello everybody. If you do not know me, my name is Alan Cavagnaro. I'm an esports commentator, or I don't know how I would consider it anymore. I used to commentate for AOR, sort of ULC. I've tried to do a lot of things. Today we're starting with Season 12 of PSORC, or PlayStation Online Racing Championship. And right now, many drivers are already out on the track. Only, looks actually everyone is out on the track. I was going to say at least a few are in the pits, but everyone else going out on the track early with 9 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. Though, let me give myself a second to go on Twitter and process the link to the PSORC, guys, because I think I put up the link for this stream already, if I'm correct. So just give me a second, right when qualifying's about to start. For these drivers to set their first lap times, there's Flexi, Lassane Gaming, LMC Woma, Y Racer. There's Cax, there's is that Robo? It looks like Robo. And down in 7th, there's Ahmed, and I cannot even read that. Let me get closer. Too many numbers in that name. I think it's like, I'm not even gonna pronounce it. We'll call him X for now. There's Relunity and Silent Assassin. But for now, the guy in 8th place, I have no clue how to pronounce his name. So if anyone could help me, that'd be awesome. But for time being, actually, Cax is into the pits. Yeah, everyone went out on the track early. He must have broken his front wing, and he had to pit for a second time. And he'll go out there for a second time. But around 7 to 8 minutes roughly remaining. Flexi is going to come around the track to start his lap time here in Spa. And like we said, there's only one driver in the pits, and that is Cax. He's going to try and redo this again and try and start his lap time. If anyone is curious, I'm in the booth alone today. And I need to put out the link for this stream on Twitter. So just give me a second before anyone starts their lap time. I need to put in the PSORC chat too, and that would be lovely. Right on board, actually. Beautiful sound of these 1995 Ferraris. As he heads off the straight and to the 2 corners. And of course, it looks like Relunity actually sets the fastest lap time. Then there's Lassane Gaming going up on top. That is around 1.3 seconds he's done it. Yeah, 1.3 seconds he's done it by. And as it stands right now, he has the fastest lap time, but only 2 drivers have set a lap time so far, so that may change as we approach the halfway mark of this qualifying session. We did start with 12 minutes. We're now almost at 6 minutes, and still only 2 people have set a lap time. So right now, like we said, 10 drivers for today, and it looks like now Robo into the pits with Cax coming out. So it looks like he was able to fix that front wing if he had any damage. Again, I don't know why he pitted. I'll be completely honest. I'm not sure about Robo either. Must have either had an invalidated lap time, went in trying to get a new set of tires, load the fuel load. You know, trying to go out for the banker lap. But for these cars, they're slower and there's a lot of understeer. So possibly this is a big track too. If you make one mistake, rather just come in and then come back onto the track when you have fresher tires and less fuel, so you have a lighter car, so you can go faster. But you know, Lassane Gaming with a 156.5, LMC Woma in 2nd, 3rd Relunity, and 4th Y Racer. And actually, someone just cutting across the line. That is Silent Assassin. He's 6/10 behind Lassane Gaming. And right now he does stand 3rd in the 2nd row. And there goes X across the line. 5.5 minutes remaining. And I'm not going to say the full name because I don't know how to. A little embarrassing. I thought I went through all the names, but we do have a little introduction on all of these drivers, by the way. We'll just read it out in a second. I need to put it in some of these chats right now, actually. So give me a moment. Going up Au Rouge and into the Rodillion. Yeah, XR. Man, with the fast lap time. Look at the guy in second. There's Lassane Gaming. He is backed by roughly around 300ths of a second. That is obviously less than a tenth, and very, very close. If he can get one more nail-biting lap down, it could possibly go down as of, even the faster lap time that we've seen here today. But as we approach the end of qualifying, there are still some drivers who have not set a lap time. Drivers such as Flexi, there's Cax, there's Robo. They all have not set a lap time. And the more interesting thing, all three of these drivers have gone into the pits when, hold on, someone's off the track and spinning. That's Y-Racer, he's off the track. I thought I saw him the first time spinning, and I just went through his name. I was like, I better go back and check on him. But yeah, Y-Racer, he is a little less than 2 seconds behind X's lap time. But Flexi in the pits now. There's Cax and Robo, who also have who've gone into the pits midway through when everyone else was doing their lap time. So I think they just want to get some clean air on the racetrack, and they want to go out at a time when no one else is on, which, like I said, that'd help for the clean air. There's no one else in front of them, and plus they already put down grip and rubber on the track. So really, it's beneficial for Cax and Robo to go on the track, and plus they could sort of get a view at what the lap time should be like today with these cars. Fastest one today is a 156.4 set by X, and that's sort of their goal, just to get into the 156s for our fastest lap time today. But X in first, second Lassane, third LMC Woma, fourth Zon Assassin, fifth. Now actually, third sliding in is Ahmed, fourth LMC Woma, fifth Silent Assassin, sixth Reality, seventh Y-Racer, eighth Flexi, ninth Cax, 10th is Robo. 10 drivers for today, and X actually ran out of fuel, heading to towards the third sector, and there goes Cax across the line, 3/10 quicker than anyone else could go, and that does grab pole position. So as it stands right now, he is on the front row with X, as he does retire from the session very, very satisfied with that lap time, and decides to call it quits. So does X as well. He knows he's run out of fuel. He cannot get back to the pits in enough time. He decides to retire, and that will end his day in qualifying. So as we wait upon that, let's ride on board. Let's ride on board with Robo. He has not set a lap time yet today, but right now, actually, I'm going to read out, like I said I would. I would read out the lineup. So we have Sam, or Flexi. He is a current and 4-time PSORC champion, and he is the favorite going into season number 12. There's Cax, also known as Casper. He's new to PSORC, and has a poor running since joining. Definitely has a pace to win races throughout this season. I mean, already in qualifying, you look up at Cax, and he does have the fastest lap time today. He's the only driver to get close to peaking into the 155s. He has a 156 flat. I bet if he improved in the lap time, he would be in the 155s. Also, next you have Robo Jeep, which is Matt. Hasn't had too much time to commit to F1 recently with personal issues, however, won the Constructors title with Sam last season for Toro Rosso. So Toro Rosso is the team to beat now today, entering Classic Cars in Season 12. And Robo Jeep, we're riding on board with him right now. He'll cross the line, and that lap does put him in 7th. So he was the teammate of the person who, I mean, both of them won Constructors, first of all. But later on, let's go down to someone else. Actually looks like Kevin, or Kev Roos, Rusky's not here. But Y-Racer, he's not the fastest, but he definitely tries his hardest and can provide a shock result from time to time. So, what we're hearing, he's not consistent, but, it's sort of like Perez in F1. When he is consistent, he's not getting podiums, but sometimes he'll get these fantastic finishes where they're on the podium with a car that doesn't deserve to be there. For his case, what I'm hearing, he doesn't have the pace necessarily to contend every week, but sometimes he'll put up a stellar performance, which is Y-Racer, which is down in 9th place. And, yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll stand out performances. You may see that today. I mean, and it goes off track, but yeah, he got into an incident earlier in qualifying. Broke part of that front wing and had to pit. But, you do see the clouds in the sky. Rain could happen, and he could get this thing on rain strategy. You may never know. Also, in the field, you have Brandon, or Lassane Gaming. He took the title fight to Sam last season until he switched from the to the wheel at the end of the season and gave Sam the title. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that he gave him the title. I bet if Lassane practiced a lot more, there would have been a good chance that he could have been up there. But, time is always an issue when it comes to league racing. And I think he just tried his best to try and put in a good lap time, and obviously, or not a lap time, but, you know, put in a good performance that season, and it just cannot do it. But we do have around 10 seconds left, and Y raced across the line. What about Flexi? We're right on board with Flexi. And actually, Woma crosses the lap, crosses the track towards the line, set the fast lap time, and he does have one more time to complete, but slowing down and satisfied with that lap. Next, we have Owen Wyatt. Wyatt's not here today. So let's go to LMC Woma, who just set the fastest lap time. He's also new to PSORC, however, has won 3 races already and certainly has title-winning pace. I mean, it's easy when you come into a league. You don't know what your expectations are, so you just try your best, and next thing you know, you're up in the front. I've definitely been in that situation before, and for him, you know, he enjoys winning this league. I think everyone enjoys winning. But for him, you know, for him, it comes easy. So expect him to be up in the front like he already is. And look at the gap between him and Lassane Gaming. That is 1/1000th of a second between him and pole position. And fantastic lap time, 1/10 or 1,000th closer. That would have put them on a tie-breaking lap. And that would have been record-breaking. I don't think that ever would have happened in PSORC. And I believe this is the closest 2 cars have ever come to qualifying within each other. For pole position in PSORC. I may be corrected, but that's just an assumption. Next, we have Ahmad, who is a veteran of PSORC, not the fastest, but consistent and can score good points from what we're being told. And also, we have Lee. Okay, we'll call him Lee for now. There's, well, yeah, just Lee, which is the person I keep calling X. He's a one-time PSORC champion. He also races in AOR F3, so he knows how to get his stuff done. Also has a tendency to bottle races, so throughout the season, we may use that joke. From time to time, we'll say if he can bottle it or not. So that'll be a running joke for now on this season, if you guys are fine with that. There's Josh, he's not here today. There's Liam, Robo. I don't think we did get Robo. But there is qualifying done and complete. Lassane Gaming on the front row. And yeah, there's Robo Jeep. I'm not sure if that is Liam Robo. I assume it is, but we'll go over after qualifying. On the front row, it is LMC Woma and Lassane Gaming, and that actually, the gap does come down to a tiebreaker, believe it or not. And due to LMC Woma setting that lap first, LMC Woma will be on pole position. Second will be Lassane Gaming, who did set that lap time after Woma. Third will be Cax, and that all, look at the top 3. They're all divided by 7,000ths of a second. 4th is Sound Assassin. 5th will be Lee. 6th will be Ahmad. 7th, Y Racer. 8th, Realunity. 9th, Robo Jeep. And 10th, Flexi. That rounds out the qualifying grid. So let's go over Robo. He's one of the fastest guys for PSORC has ever seen. And he's definitely one to look out for here today for the Season 12 opener. And that must be coming with a new update. I just saw that F1 2017 logo. I don't remember that ever happening. And also we have James. He doesn't have a PSN. His name is just James. James. Let's talk about him. Now hasn't raced in PSORC since the end of Season 9. And let's hope he can gain his pace back fast. Definitely a podium sitter on his day. At the time, he was a podium sitter. But James doesn't have a PSN, so I don't know who James is. I think that's a funny thing. The notes that I got from the league owner, he sent me those notes, and I thought I'd say them out loud. But those are the notes that he sent me. And, yeah, James doesn't have a PSN from the notes he gave me, which I think is pretty funny. But we are 20 seconds away from the start of the Belgian Grand Prix to start out season number 12. And it's going to be an interesting race, as we are just moments away from the start of the Belgian Grand Prix. And we wait for the countdown from about to be 5 seconds. As you can count down. And thank you everybody so much for tuning in. Right now we're already up to 6 likes. Many people watching. And for the lights, it's formation lap. Okay, I don't know if it was formation lap or not. So Soup says FFS. I'm not going to say it out loud. I'm not allowed to. Brandon and Tom with 1/1000th of a second between each other. There's Matt Tabas saying top 3. Flexi saying well then, ... Soup saying Jesus Christ, Brandon, you better win. Lassane Gaming saying well then. So nice to see everyone bringing the support. It is a 22-lap race in front of us today, and I'm definitely excited to start this one up. And I'm going to ask you guys a question. Let me know if the quality is bad or not, because I turned the Wi-Fi off my laptop, I turned my phone off, and the Wi-Fi is off on that too. So I'm hoping that reduces anything that can interfere with this live stream. Let me pull up, actually, the Belgian Grand Prix map, because I do want to do my little track facts that I always do. And someone's in the grass back there. We're not even racing yet, and Cax and Son Assassin are going at it. But anyway, my internet's taking forever to load, so we're gonna have to turn it back on just for a split second. Racing hasn't started yet, but it's okay. Let me do Belgian Grand Prix. Yeah, we're at the Belgian Grand Prix, if anyone didn't know that. It is Circuit Spa-Francorchamps, and it is the first round of the season, and it's the longest track on the schedule. I always say that. I don't even have to look it up. If you run around Belgium, you do a lap time around here, you know this is the longest track. The tracks like Nürburgring definitely come ahead of this one, but the Belgian Grand Prix, a very, very interesting track. It has had many regulation changes along the way. Since 2007, they've been running this format, but from 2004 to 2006, they have a modern circuit with a modified bus stop chicane that they did add in. And also, there was, back in 1994, they had their own version. It was a modern circuit with a chicane at Eau Rouge, which was because of Ayrton Senna's death. They try to reduce, or try and increase safety and try and reduce any dangers, but honestly that did not work out in 1994. There's a modern circuit with the original bus stop chicane from 81 to 83, then 95 to 2003, but technically it should have been from 81 to 2003. But the fastest GP circuit lap time we have on the 2007 Modern Plus circuit is Sebastian Vettel's lap time last year, which was a 1:46.5. And that was a fantastic lap time. This track is 7 kilometers long, 7 flat kilometers long, and 4.3 miles long. It has 19 corners in this track. Oh, well, it is a very, very interesting one, if you ask me. I'm definitely excited to be starting off with this track today. So obviously the chicane turns 19 to 20. It's just called the chicane, doesn't have a name. But turn 1, there's La Source. Head down in turns 3, 4, 5. That is Rodillion and Eau Rouge. Then there's a Camel Straight, which is off turn number 6, a little slight right-hander kink, and then you head into Lacombe, which is turns 7, 8, and 9. Then you head downhill towards the hairpin, which is also called Bruxelles. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. I'm American. I don't know French, but I know that's a French name for Brussels. I believe so. Then there's a corner with no name, which is corner 11. Then there's Pouon, which is a sweeping left-hand corner, which is one of my favorite parts, with the 5 red lights in Spa, and LMC Woma and Lausanne Gaming on the front row, and we're green. And the Ferraris come up to a roaring pace, and already 4 wide towards turn number 1. And this is the worst camera angle I've ever seen. We're riding on board, and Woma's pulling away. There was 4 wide in the background. Oh, they beat, they bang. They're 3 wide as we head down towards Eau Rouge. Oh, this is not going to end well. Back to 2 wide. Can anyone do around the outside? He's going to have to cut the corner. He's also so close to the barrier. Oh, he had to get a warning for that, and 2 cars into the wall already. 1 car missing a tire. Oh, and that is terrible. And that is Ahmed out of the race so early. He hasn't even completed the first lap, and he's out of this race. Woma holds on to the race lead. Lausanne Gaming back in second. Like we said, they head downhill towards the hairpin, which heads towards the right, Brussels. Or I'm just going to keep calling it Brussels. I'm not going to say Bruxelles. And then we head towards the downhill left-hander, the corner from No Name. Yeah, there's a lot of corners here. This track has so much history. If anyone didn't know, I think a lot of people knew. This track originally started out on the streets, or on the streets, and eventually turned into a racetrack like this. Part of it, you see Sector 1. Sector 1 was all part of a street, and once you hit Lacombe, if you go straight on after turn 7, that you follow the old circuit that this track used to have. And I believe you rejoin the track, I think around 16. I don't know. Somewhere around that. Because I think it's right here they rejoin. I think it's right there that the track rejoins. Right, yeah, that's turn 16. And then we head towards Blanchimont, right here. One of my favorite corners I enjoy as well. I remember one moment with Soup that we commentated over this. It was Classic Cars Pouring Wet 1996 Williams. He remembers this race. I'm not going to say the league. just because we're in a league race right now. But I think if Soup is watching this, I think he'd realize what races that was from. That was one of my favorite moments from this track. But across the line for the first time today, it is a 2-minute lap time from LMC Woma, which is the fastest out of everyone. And let's try and find some battles on the opening lap. Down to the inside, one of the Ferraris looking. That is Robo Jeep on Flexi. They'll be wheel-to-wheel off turn 1, which is La Source. Let's try and find some position change. And already defending very well is Realunity. And up Au Rouge into the Rodillion. He'll try and find a little space to squeeze in, but had to check up off the Rodillion. Now down towards the Kemmel Straight. I was about to say the Wellington Straight, but this is the Kemmel Straight, of course. The Kemmel Straight has no stands. You just sit on the grass, which I think is very, very unique and classic about the track. But Robo Jeep comes so close to the back end of Realunity. And he did make some contact with that car. Now all of a sudden, Realunity is starting to pull away from Robo Jeep. So, Realunity, I think, looks like Robo hit the back end of him and got some damage. I'm not sure. There's a good battle between Y-Racer and Lee right now. The front two have pulled away, but Y-Racer holding off many others at this time period. And there's a couple cars running wide in the background. That could have been a warning for them. But we're going to ride on board with Cax back in 6th place. And already getting on the curbs just a tad bit. And up in 3rd place, I mean, there's 4 drivers, 4, 5, 6, yeah, there's a lot of drivers going for this last podium spot. I mean, the front two have pulled away, but really just these two, I mean, the rest of the field is just going for the 3rd position. You ride on board here with Silent Assassin a lot closer to 3rd and 4th place, now through Blanchimont, and we're going to head up towards the chicane, which is turns 19 and 20. And defending down to the inside, Y-Racer to the outside goes Silent Assassin. Can he have enough room? Squeezing to the inside, the side pods touch. He's going to run wide on the curb, and now all of a sudden he's going to lose the back end, saves it from hitting the other Ferrari. And he gets spun. That is Cax against Lee. He's going to hang on to the position. Ahmed has left this session in lap 3. And already, it is a 5-car train. The conductor of this one, it is Y-Racer, as we head downhill towards Au Rouge and the Rodillion. The front two holding a good gap as we speak right now. However, Silent Assassin, he may try and make a move. DRS is enabled, but oh wait, these are the 1995 Ferraris. You know, DRS wasn't enabled till, I don't know, 15, 20 years later. But anyway, to the outside goes Silent Assassin, puts on a block, and backs out from hitting that Ferrari. Look at that train. It amazes me how these drivers are not having any incidents so far. But right now, Y-Racer holding his own ground. Nobody making a move for 3rd place. It is lap 3, going for 3rd place, but he's run wide, and he's going to give the gap around the outside of the corner with no name. He runs out of room. He's going to get on the back end of him. He loses the back end, and he'll try and put something down to the inside towards that sweeping left-hander of Puan. But Y-Racer holds on very, very slowly, so we'll check up there from Silent Assassin. Runs wide once more, and again checking that back end from snake-tailing it. But really, 5 cars have a shot at this one position that Y-Racer is holding very cleverly. And oh, 1 car's off. That's Lee, and Lee's off. Oh, and he's missing his right front tire. I have no clue what happened there. But for Lee's perspective, must have either come in contact with the car. You can see some marks in the gravel behind him. And plus, he's missing a right front tire. So I think he went around the outside of 1 car, pushed him off, and then he went right into a barrier. That could have been a possible scenario for Lee. But now it is a 3-car battle for 3rd position. 2 cars out of it, 1 out of the race. The other Robo Jeep back to 6th place. I believe Robo Jeep also could have been involved in this incident. Lap ago, he was right to the back end of that train, but ever since Lee's out of this race, Robo Jeep a couple seconds behind these guys. So I think Lee hit Robo Jeep, then went off the track and lost the tire. That is just my research. That's what I believe. But we head downhill towards Au Rouge and the Rodillion, and leading it in 3rd place, Y-Racer and Silent Assassin. Cax back in 5th. 6 is Robo Jeep, and it was around 2-3 tenths between all of them. And defending to the inside goes Silent Assassin. Oh, but the gap was just there. Mays trying to squeeze around the outside, back to the inside, touching the side pod, runs out of room, and on the inside once more, and clears them for the position. Almost had it, but he came clutch in that last corner through turn number 9 and took the position back now. Turn number 10. Back downhill towards the right-hander, towards Brussels, and then the corner at no name. Silent Assassin. Wow, he had his hands full there for just a second. But for his case there, wow, that was interesting. Yellow Sector 2, who could this be? And one car going slow. That is Relunity. Flexi far behind. But we go up to the positions. See a little grid rundown. It's only lap 4. And it is LMC Woma, Lassane Gaming, Y-Racer, Stan Assassin, Cax, RoboJeep, Relunity, and Flexi rounding out the top 8. And up into 3rd place is Y-Racer. It looks like the biggest losers and biggest winners so far today. Obviously, if you look at the biggest winner, I mean, personally, I would say LMC Woma. He held a very, very defensive lead at the very start, and now he's starting to pull away. The gap between him and the leader, 2nd place, is 7/10. You could also say Y-Racer, he gained 4 positions off the start. From 7th to 3rd, he finds himself inside the podium. Biggest losers, obviously, you look at the guys like Lee and Ahmed, who are out of the race. Most likely, I would say Ahmed practiced so much for this race, and all of a sudden, on the opening lap at the exit of Rouge, lost his tire and was out of the race. So, biggest loser right there, in my opinion. You can ride on board the driver in 2nd place, trying to chase down our leader, LMC Woma. Gap is 1 second. So we head towards Lacombe. Go down through the field. If anyone has any questions, we will answer them down below about any of these drivers. Let's ride on board with, here we go, Cax. He's so close to the back end of Stan Assassin. So right now, it is lap 5 out of 22, and a 3-car train has formed up once more after the incident. So, wow, you look at the corner with no name. I mean, off the exit, a terrible exit, but was able to keep it right there out. He just got on his right rear tire, got on the curbs, and actually, I'm not sure if I'm seeing rain. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm seeing rain. It's hard to see, but it's very cloudy. That could also be a factor. Eventually, we may see some rain, but as of right now, quality is good on your end. Thank you very much. Matthew Ryan says, Vimos fellas. Yep, nice to see you too. How you doing? And oh, let's look at these two. Y-Racer and Stan Assassin. They head towards Blanchimont. The gap looks pretty similar between each driver. And a lot of these drivers are making mistakes because they are used to a car with so much more speed, so much more power. And already this Ferrari gets the back end, makes some contact. With this Ferrari, there's so much understeer, there's not enough power. I mean, the only benefit to these cars is that it sounds better than the 2017 cars. So, most possibly what I'm looking at, really, is just for these drivers to make mistakes because they don't drive these cars every day. When you come in this game, most likely 99% of the time, you are running the 2017 cars. And not only that, but you also have to look at the factor that these cars have a lot of understeer to begin with. Even drivers at the time that drove them face understeer. So, not only do these drivers never drive these cars, but they also come with understeer right on them. It's going to be tough to make some moves. Maybe down the straight it's going to be easy, but 2 wide already. Can he try and make it 3 wide? A very risky situation, but I think he knows better of it. I may try and look around the outside. Once more, clears him. And yep, now into the back bumper of that 1995 Ferrari. And a corner cutting penalty for Y-Racer. Trying to defend the inside before the hairpin, but knows he's not close enough and gets a better line through there. Already through the corner, no name. And, yep, these drivers, again, they have been putting on a show. If only Lee stayed in this race, it'd be a 5-car train. Most likely in this race. He actually ran wide, and he's going to try and steal the position. Hits him off the track, and Y-Racer leaves the track, rejoins the track, and now he's going to battle with Cax. He's going to try and look around the outside, but the gap does close. Y-Racer into 4th place. 5th, Cax, and into 3rd. It was bound to happen, and up into 3rd, Stan Assassin made his move, was patient enough to wait for a gap to open. Once it did, shoved his way through there, and took 3rd place. Very smart move, and that is a move of a champion that I'd say. I mean, when you're a champion, you have to be patient. when you're a veteran at league racing, you know you cannot push things into proportion. You can't force things. You have to be patient when it comes to this type of racing. You have to wait for someone to make a mistake. You have to wait for the gap to open. And he just did that. He waited for him to make a mistake. He tried to breed on his rear end and wait for him to make a mistake. And he was cautious, so he had some late braking into Puan, and that caused him to run wide and allow San Assassin to take P3. But also, speaking of running wide, it looked like he did run wide, which was Y Racer. Cax right behind him in 5th place. He can try and make a move down the Kemmel Straight off the Radillion. A little wide, but across that white line. Oh, that's going to allow him to gain a lot of time. To the outside goes Cax. He takes P4 against Y Racer. Looks like he just let him by. But looking to the inside once more, but for a better entrance. Y Racer trying to do it. And lap 7 out of 22, it is LMC Woma and Lassane Gaming on the front row so far. Closest gap you see is between Cax and Y Racer, which is less than a second. That's quickly going up. Each lap, I mean, originally at the start, Y Racer was holding everyone up. Now that everyone's past him, you know, he has no one to battle with. Maybe except Robo Jeep. Keep an eye on him because he could reel him in. Most likely. We could look through the field. LMC Woma, like we said, the gap is now back down to 6/10. A couple laps ago, went up to 1.1 seconds. A couple laps before that lap, it was down to 7:10. So it's been a roller coaster of a gap. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. I think it's the difference between someone pushing and saving their tires. I don't know. I think that's just me. Not sure if anyone's pitting, by the way. I haven't really commentated it over a classic cars race before. But Lassane Gaming, oh, he missed the braking zone by a ton. And LMC Woma, he's definitely going to increase that gap as we come across the line for lap number 8. It's right on board with Lassane Gaming. So off turn number 1, now downhill we head towards. And he'll try and rev it up all the way to 6th gear and a penalty for LMC Woma, who is our race leader right now. A 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. It must have had to be in, obviously in our rouge right there. Must have made a mistake, but now all of a sudden, Woma and Lassane, the gap is 1.6 seconds. That's because he just locked up and ran wide in turn 19 and 20, and that just allowed him to create more than a second of a gap there. But right now, LMC Woma and Lassane Gaming, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, San Assassin, 4th, Cax, and 5th, Y Racer. 6th, Robo Jeep, 7th, Real Unity, 8th is Flexi. And right now, LMC Woma, I mean, holding his ground, as you can see. 2nd, you know, Lassane Gaming has done a good job. However, made a mistake at 19 and 20. However, he is getting back that time. He's already gained 3/10 so far in 2 sectors. And already back up to 1.2 seconds. So I think LMC Woma really pushing his tires now that not only he got a penalty, but also he does see a faster car behind him. And you'd expect, if you pushed a lot in the beginning, you'd expect to pull up a gap. But, you know, that gap is not far enough to where it is to win this race so far. But right now, LMC Woma, it is less than a second. A lap ago, it was only a couple of tenths. After the mistake, it was 1.6 seconds. Can he gain a second in a lap? Through Blanchimont, looks like he gained a lot there. Can he hit the apex this time? Runs a little wide, but better than last lap. Crossing the line, 9 out of 22. But yeah, LMC Woma is hanging on to a 9/10 gap. And he's done a good job today. I will say he's a fantastic job. That pace has been phenomenal. Just that penalty is going to hold him back a couple seconds, around 3 seconds. It is. So. Maxing out at 6th gear down the straight. The gap back up to 1.3 seconds. I think it just goes to show who has, you know, the amount of drag on each setup. You know, with these cars, you can obviously adjust the setup. And, yeah, for these drivers, I think they just run different setups. It feels like in the corners, it is Lassane Gaming who does gain. And LMC Woma who does gain on the straight. So really, through the corners. You see the gap go down. Sorry, I'm choking on something. Oh, I haven't done commentary in a while, and I forgot to drink water before this, so I think that's probably the reason. But, lap 9 out of 22, 1.5 seconds, LMC Woma and Lassane Gaming. Yeah, through the corners, it definitely does feel like it is Lassane Gaming who gains, but as soon as you get off the Rodillion onto the Camel Straight, all of a sudden LMC Woma brings that gap from 0.6 to maybe 1.6 seconds. I'm not sure if that's a coincidence, but it happened 2 laps in a row. And yeah, Lassane Gaming almost taking out his tire there. So gotta be careful of this kind of stuff. This race has been intense for some of these drivers, I will say. It's been good so far. And this time he hits the apex both times around. Hopefully doesn't lose much time. But yeah, it's sort of inconsistent for Lassane Gaming and LMC Woma. Some laps he gains, sometimes he loses. So, you know, his case, it's interesting. I'll be completely honest. Headed downhill towards Arouge once more. The gap is still 1.4 seconds. And into the pits goes Cax. Let's see what he puts on. Again, another set of dry tires. Out and away he goes. Just making sure if, let's say, he needed to fix that front wing, we would stay on top of that. But out of the pits, and he will be back in 6th place, drifting around that final corner. But it now looks like Lassane Gaming, he's left the session. He's left the session as he's been trying to catch down the race leader the entire 10 laps. And that must have been a huge, huge relief for LMC Woma. He can now just focus on extending that gap. Oh, the scenes. It was 1.4 seconds. Now it is going to be 5.4 seconds and many more added on. Oh, that is a bummer. We would have had a battle for the race lead eventually if these guys had a pit. Oh, such a bummer. I'll be honest. But right now we are coming to lap number 11 out of 22, the halfway mark in this race. And right now, LMC Woma back in second. It's still Lassane Gaming, and he'll take Son Assassin maybe till the end of this lap to pass him. Yeah, he'll get him before the chicane, most likely under braking. Yep, okay, got him under braking. And in a second goes Assassin. And into the pits. And Lassane Gaming takes back the position. So it's short-lived, but Lassane Gaming is still in second place. And actually, his AI takes the lead for him. Oh my goodness me, this must be a first in PSORC. The AI for Lassane Gaming takes the lead in this race. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You have got to be absolutely kidding me. He is not going to have it for long, of course, because LMC Woma now coming up Arouge. Imagine if a safety car just came out now. That would have been a free pass for Lassane Gaming to get back in his car and everything. That would have been hilarious. Oh, but Lassane Gaming right now, he is still leading. His AI is still leading. There goes LMC. Nope, not yet. Not yet. Through the corner. He'll probably get him off the corner here. And he does. And LMC Woma back to the lead. And that was pretty funny for the time being. Pretty funny. I'll admit. So lap 11 out of 22, halfway through. And out of all the drivers still running, there's still one that has actually lost positions off the start, and that is Cax. Incredible what RoboJeep has done. I mean, I know people have pitted and some haven't, but, you know, gaining 6 spots off the start, that's really good. So, lap 11 out of 22 so far, like I said, halfway through this race. And for anyone questioning me about my YouTube channel, my last stream was supposed to be a couple days ago, but the PSORC YouTube channel didn't work. So this will be my last stream on the channel, and then that'll be it. Okay, I'm not gonna put it on my Twitch. I'm not going to bother with that. I know some people ask me about that, about my YouTube channel, about, you know, the broadcast and everything, where they'd go. Yellow in Sector 3, who could that possibly be? Oh. Tricky time for Y-Racer. His race just keeps getting worse and worse. But, yeah, we're more than halfway through. Now it looks like Lassane Gaming into the pits. His AI does the job for him. And I am being told the AI won't be counting the final results. I knew it wouldn't. I just thought it was funny if the AI took the lead. I honestly thought it was pretty funny. Now, Lassane Gaming saying, I got kicked from my car. And then Matthew Ryan saying, AI better than Brandon. Oh, that is funny. Y-Racer into the pits. Let me get off the stream before my internet dies. I shouldn't be watching it. But yeah, he has to fix that front wing. Yeah, he did get into an incident earlier in the first stint of this race, but the thing was, I didn't see a broken front wing or anything. The end plate didn't look damaged, and also, you also have to look at the fact that he never hit the wall or anything, but he is repairing that front wing. So he will be pitting to fix that front wing, which I think is interesting. LMC Woma, Robo Jeep, Stone Assassin, Cax, Lassane Gaming, Flexi, Relunaty, and Y-Racer. Right now, 12 laps into this race. I think right now, as we have a little downtime, no racing, the smallest gap we have is 2.5 seconds now, actually, almost up to 3 seconds. Actually, I'm trying to, hold on, I have to hold in a sneeze. Hold on. Okay, I was about to sneeze. Oh, that was funny. I was about to sneeze. I've never sneezed while I've commentated before. And I know I have commentator's curse, but, you know, that's not going to happen today. I'm not going to sneeze. We're going to make sure that doesn't happen. I know I lose more brain cells if I hold in a sneeze, but we're not going to sneeze. But I think right now, 13 laps in, why don't we do a little trivia about this track? If anyone can find me... Okay, so the first person that finds me the winner of the 1986 Belgian Grand Prix, I will subscribe to your channel. How about that? We'll do a little trivia there. While this race goes on, you'll get a free subscribe from me. And time starts now to find that question. Actually, LMC Woma running wide off the Rodillion. If anyone can find me the winner of the 1986 Belgian Grand Prix, whoever puts it down in the chat first, I'll subscribe to your channel. And if I'm already subscribed, well, you're already a winner. How about that? Stone Assassin, 3-second time penalty. That most likely was off of the Rodillion. It must have run wide and just gained, you know, extending the track limits. And while this loads on my screen, Tom Davis is Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, I don't think that's correct. LMC Woma still leading 8.3 seconds. And actually, Lead Master says Mansell. Why don't we look that up? Because I actually don't know the answer to that. I wanted someone to tell me. We'll look this up. How about that? 1986 Belgian Grand Prix. That was just a random year, to be honest, actually. That I'm trying to remember. Most likely, it would have either been PK, Mansell, or one of the McLarens. Because I know in 86 they had a good car. But the problem was, neither... I mean, I know in 87. I'm losing count of the champions now. 87 was when PK won it, right? PK won it in 87, due to Mansell getting an injury. Wasn't it an injury? Someone at the Williams got an injury, and at the end of 87. 86 went to, I think Ellen Prost. I don't know, but yeah, who won that race? I'm not going to say, but yes, it was Mansell. Congratulations. Nigel Mansell won the race, and second was Ayrton Senna, and third was Stefan Johansson. It went from a Williams to a Lotus runner to a Ferrari, so congratulations on that. I didn't think anyone could get it without looking it up, but yeah, I was gonna say either Prost, Mansell, or PK hitting that one. Maybe Senna, I don't know. But right now, LMC Woma still leading, 14 laps in. Robo Jeep going down. The gap between him and Silent Assassin is coming down, so why don't we cover this one with Lassane Gaming getting the fastest lap time. And yeah, Lassane Gaming back at the... Yeah, it must be a heartbreak. He did get back in. Tom Davis said Bruce McLaren. I think he meant 56 or 65. I don't know. I don't know what year he's referring to. I don't have it on the top of my head. I know Bruce McLaren won a couple of races. for his team. 14 laps in, let's ride it on board with Son Assassin. The gap between these two are coming down. After this battle, we'll probably do one more trivia. You know, I like to do this trivia. I'll be honest. Evil says in Fun Fact 95, there was both V12s and V10s. Yeah, I thought that was very interesting. 94 had a chicane in Eau Rouge. I did bring that up already earlier in the race, so I'm not going to ask that as a question. But, yeah, RoboJeep having a tough time already. I'm not sure if he pitted already. Let me put on the detail for stops, and no, he hasn't. That is the reason why. Let's go back and change the camera view, because these two are going to be passing each other. And he's going to try and find some more grip throughout the corner. Again, those old tires, they have nothing. He's going to try and launch down to the inside. Ooh, look at that pass in turn 16. Gets by Son Assassin for P2. Oh, he was not patient at all. He just shoved it in there. Closed his eyes, and hoping that move would pay off. But now through Blanchiment, he's now in second place. You know, back to Sector 2 when he was in second place. But LMC Woma, fastest lap time. So these new tires are definitely helping some drivers out in the clean air, getting faster and faster lap times. I don't think Assassin will get it, but RoboJeep is into the pits. Yep, RoboJeep is into the pits. And I will say this. How about we do it more trickier? We'll do a more trickier Belgian Grand Prix question. Give me a couple minutes to find one. We'll do fun facts, whatever, about the track. I thought it's very interesting. I've never done, you know, trivia about a track before while in commentary. But, I mean, not much is happening. And PSORC said it's okay. Just do what you want as long as you make the race entertaining. And I thought, you know, trivia during the race about the track, about these cars, I think would be very interesting. About the 1995 Ferraris. Here's a little true or false. Did the Ferraris win a race? Did they win a race in 1995? There is a correct answer. It's either yes or no. Bonus answer. If they did win a race, who won it for them? And if you want to find the answer for that one, you can obviously comment down below. But I actually don't remember. I don't remember that one either. I thought I would, but no. But this car was hideous, I'll be honest. Many people did not like the 95 Ferrari. I kind of question why it was added in the game. They could have added, you know, something maybe loudest Ferrari, more historic, his 76 Ferrari that he won another championship in against, or not 76, his first championship that he won the car in. Before Lauda vs. Hunt. I thought it would be very interesting if they added that car, but instead they added the 95 Ferrari. But let's see the comments. Let's see what the questions say. But yeah, going to the field. Let's see a grid rundown. 15 laps in. It is LMC Woma, Son Assassin. It is Cax, the same Gaming, RoboJeep, Flexi, Real Lunardy, and Y Racer. Throughout the race, eight racers so far. And let's see. Tom says no, that is incorrect. And Evil says, yeah, Jean Alazy in Canada. And yep, Leadmaster says Alazy 95 Canada. Gifted win, to be honest. Benetton had an issue. Yes, they did, but I still think it was a deserving win for Alazy. I mean, I hate to be biased, but you look at Alazy's stats. He had so much talent, had so much skill, never had the equipment. I mean, he was in the 96 Benetton. That was as good as the 95 Ferrari. But the thing was, out of all his podiums, he did deserve a win. I wish he didn't win a race like that. I kind of wish he won it in dominating fashion, but Alazy did deserve a win. So I would say that one win he did deserve in his career. Yeah, but it was 1995 Canada with these 1995 Ferraris that I find very interesting. And something I did say earlier about this track, all of Sector 1, back before the 50s, before this became a track, it was actually public roads. You go up through Eau Rouge and down the Kemmel Straight, and then the straightaway, the main straightaway. That was all part of public road. If you go on, let's say, Project Cars, for example, and you're in the hairpin in La Source in Turn 1, you'd see some old houses that, you know, were probably there from the time being at the time. So Spa-Francorchamps was first used to host Grand Prix racing events as far as back as 1925. It was also part of the first year of the Modern World Championship in 1950, which is, you know, F1 as we know today. There are some tracks that, you know, in 1950 were still in the schedule, that are on the schedule now. There's Spa, there's Silverstone, I think there's Monaco as well. I think Monaco. Maybe Nürburgring's not on it. It should be, though. Nürburgring should be on it. And there are many, many races about Belgium that everyone should know about. If you're a classic F1 fan, you know the 1998 Belgian Grand Prix. Riding aboard LMC Woma, across this corner, you saw one of the McLaren. It was one of the McLarens that spun out in that corner in the heavy drenching conditions, and then it was a big one there. As now you head downhill, there was a big incident, and it took several hours to restart the race. And then all of a sudden, you know, in turn one of the cars spun out. Later in the race, if you remember 1998, the Belgian Grand Prix there, it was when Coulthard and Michael Schumacher did collide, and it gave the win, and a 1-2 for Jordan between Damon Hill, I believe. I think it was Damon Hill? Yeah, I know Damon Hill won the race. I'm trying to remember who was second. It's not Frentzen. It wasn't Frentzen. It was Schumacher, Ralf Schumacher, who finished in second in the 1998 Belgian Grand Prix. But yeah, this track is historic. It is one of my favorites. Sweeping corners. If you look for a quality of what every racetrack should have, you come to this track and your list is checked off. You do have a hairpin, you do have a sweeping right-hander, you have a sweeping left-hander, you have a chicane. I don't think a track should have a chicane, but you have sweeping corners, elevation change, different types of curbing, and wide space for racing, and of course a long straightaway. I think, yeah, that is what I would have for a racetrack, and Belgium meets every single one of those qualities. So I think Belgium is a fantastic track to do some racing on, especially with these classic cars. But we're towards the end of this race, and LMC Woma still leading. Smallest gap at the field is around 5 seconds or so, around the flexi. And like we said, you wonder why. The tracks nowadays, they're just made by Tilk, and there's sort of these modern architects that you'd see these structures. This is history. You see, like, Silverstone, you see Spa, you see Nürburgring, I could go on. You see Le Mans. I mean, all these tracks are historic. Most of them, Silverstone was built out of a World War II air station, where if you look at the part of the track, there's still runways in between it. This track was made off road. Same with Le Mans. Part of that was made with roads, public roads at the time. I believe with Nürburgring, again, that's just an endurance track. It takes so long to complete a lap there. Remember yesterday in Project Cars, I was doing snow IndyCar at Nürburgring. It took me 15 minutes to complete a lap at the big version of Nürburgring. 15 minutes to complete a lap there. I don't even think the track is 15 miles long. But yeah, I mean, that track is long. Again, some of them are used on public roads, and I think very, very unique. Again, with this track, again, right now this is part of a public road, then you head down towards the straight. If you look back there, you can still see some houses, but again, head off the Radillion, a little DRS open there. We don't have DRS, but you know, this was all part of a public road. That's all grass. They're not stands or grass. And ahead there, if you look closely up to the left-hand side, you can see part of the public road go off in the distance. There's a little gap there. Yeah, that's part of the public road that the track used to be on. So yeah, I love talking about the history about this track, because I love this track. It is so fun to drive around. And yeah, people in the comments talking about the track, saying Spa was still public till 2000. David Coulthard basically decided the title that year. Micah spun second. Okay, it was Mika Häkkinen that spun in turn 1. Micah spun. Schumacher's tires didn't blow up in Japan '98. And you know, Eau Rouge was still a hairpin originally, and is still there to this day. I love reading the comments. There's so much history that involves around this track, and I love it. I love this track. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but also what I love, a gap that decreases, and that is happening between Flexi and Robo Jeep. And these two may battle each other towards the end of this Grand Prix. If you're running on board with Robo or Flexi, you would see that the car in front of him keeps getting bigger and bigger, because that gap starts to go down and down and down, and it starts to decrease to the point where he's about to pass him. That'll happen in a couple laps. But Leadmaster says LOL try NASCARs around the Nürburgring on comfort tires for wet conditions. Gran Turismo. Yeah, would take ages at night too. Yeah, again, it's so cool what you could do with different cars. You could take them around for combinations. One of my favorites that I did, I took, what was it? We went to Daytona on Project Cars 2. We took, what was it? We took one car on the full super speed on the banking. We took a V8 supercar in the snow at Daytona on the bank. I think that was really fun. You had to be very careful in the throttle, especially if you had snow here. I think snow would be very interesting for an F1 race. I'll be honest, it would take ages to go around the track. Despite Daytona being a full throttle track, it would take forever to go around. Due to car control, obviously. But the gap between these two is down to less than a second. DRS will not be enabled to piece of the 95 Ferraris. But getting very close, Robo Jeep trying to get to the end in 5th place. That is, trying to fend off a 6th place man of Flexi. And yeah, he has to hold his ground very well, or else he's gonna see him trying to get by. So, Robo Jeep, we head towards turn 15 here. The next one, turn 16. I said turn twice. 3 times there. Oh, look at the exit. Robo Jeep used so much exit because his car is so much under, so you're trying to get as much acceleration and speed out of the corner as possible. With a slipstream of Flexi, it will cancel that out towards the chicane. He may try to make a move. Side by side, they're so close to each other's side pod, just enough room to try and squeeze down to the inside. Flexi into P5, he takes it with a couple laps to go. Robo Jeep trying to gain momentum back to the chicane. Flexi into 5th place, gaining back some time he lost originally. Oh, and that is it. It was a quick and short-lived battle. And right now, LMC Woma leads with only a couple laps to go. So yeah, only a couple laps to go. Comment down below who you believe is your driver of the day. And also just letting you know, LMC Woma, 3-second time penalty. So let's just say gets a couple more within the last couple laps. Sun Assassin reels him in. There's a chance he could win. I don't think that'll happen. But I thought it'd be very interesting just to see, everything that would have happened. But LMC Woma still leading with only a couple laps to go. And, yeah. Again, I don't know what else to say. I mean, this track has a lot of history. How about this? I mentioned it before. I'm trying to think of something else. If anyone can remember the year when Juan Pablo Montoya said, "Blanking Raikkonen, what a blanking idiot," at this track, you will make me happy. That is one of my favorite F1 quotes. And if you remember, it was during qualifying, I think it was either practice or qualifying, that Juan Pablo Montoya got mad at Raikkonen for something at this track. And he said that quote, I don't remember which year, but it was when Montoya was in a Williams, it wasn't when they were teammates. It's kind of funny that he says that about Raikkonen, then a couple years later, then they have to be teammates with each other. Kind of awkward. Let's see what the comments say about this one. You can't Wikipedia this up. You can't look it up. I mean, it actually takes knowledge to know about it, or, find a video clip of it. So, we're with 2 laps to go. And let's see what the comments say about this final question we have today. And I mean, I've thoroughly enjoyed this race. It's been really fun to commentate over this. I've never really done classic cars before. I've did it a couple times, but I never really commentated over it. So here we go. Leadmaster says 2002. Evil and Soup say 2001. Yellow in Sector 3. Who could this be? And that is Y-Racer. Oh, that is terrible. He's coming to 2 laps to go, and I don't even think he wants to finish this race. But we are about to enter the final lap today. Also, if you would like to see more content, if you like to see more whatever I do in real life, I've moved to Twitch a couple days ago. I stream City Skylines. If you want a link for that, link should be in the description later. Also, there's a video, one I published 2 days ago. You can look that up. I just moved to Twitch. I don't plan on using YouTube in the future. This was one exception, however, to stream a race because the PSORC channel does not work. as we speak right now. It doesn't work. So we're fixing that. But final lap here for LMC Woma. He has not let, has he led every lap? He hasn't led the full entirety of the race, but I think he's led every lap. No? I'm trying to think. Oh, no, he hasn't. Because you have to remember, Lassane Gaming, his AI led a lap for him. I don't think that'll count, though, because he didn't do it under his own control. But LMC Woma has led every lap except one today. And I find it very interesting. And yep, let's look back at the little note we got about LMC Woma. So this is what we were told about LMC Woma. He's new to PSORC, however, has 3 wins already, and certainly has a title-winning. He has title-winning pace. So coming into season 12, he was a favorite, and it looks like it's paid off. And many people who put bets on. I don't think people put bets on online drivers, but if someone did, they would have been smart, because this guy's leader, and he's going to come to the final lap and finish this thing out strong. But LMC Woma, he'll enter the final sector on the final lap today with literally no competition due to the disconnection of Lassane Gaming. RoboGP's close to Flexi, but not close enough. Now heading through one of my favorite parts of the track. It's so fun to say, riding through Blanchiment, and LMC Woma, he will end up winning today's Grand Prix. It's the Belgian Grand Prix. And we will end this race on a strong note, as it is LMC Woma. He'll cross the line and take victory in Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, and takes victory in Spa. Second across the line, it'll be Silent Assassin, gain multiple seconds a lap. However, both of them 3 seconds of penalties. Nothing gained, nothing lost. Cax will come across the line in third. Fourth, Lassane Gaming. He'll cross the line in fourth. Actually in third. Promoted up due to a penalty. And what about Flexi? Flexi off the final corner. He'll come to the line. P5, a solid position. RoboJeep in 6. Y-Racer, oh, he's still on a lap. Relunity. The end of this lap. And we are at the end of this race. Cross the line. Finally, rain starts to fall. Oh, this is going to be hilarious. He's going to struggle so much with the rain. Now rain starts to fall. Once Y-Racer's the only one left on track. Oh, that is hilarious. I'd like to see if he'd actually spin it before the chicane, or at least in the chicane. That's what I'd do if I were him. You're going to get 8th place no matter what. Come on, spin it off the final corner, Y-Racer. Come on, do it for us. Ah, close enough. Y-Racer, come on. There you go, come on. You're man. There you go. That's how you do it, and that's how you hand off a spectacular race. Y-Racer gets 8. I was about to say he won. With a burnout like that, he deserves to win. Y-Racer comes in 8th place. Your winner, LMC Woma, in the Belgian Grand Prix. What a thrilling way to end this race. I'm not sure if I should do interviews or not, but I know my internet's not too sturdy. And people in the chat, many people say in the chat, holy blank, how did I make this tires go 21 laps, says Flexi. Brandon says, I'll take that comeback after losing 30 seconds thanks to getting kicked, which is Lassane Gaming. Tom got a hashtag hollow victory. And everyone in the same fire suit winning today. And that is our race over. LMC Woma finishes out on top. Then it is Silent Assassin, Lassane Gaming. Then it is Cax, Flexi, RoboJeep, Relunity, Y-Racer, Lee, and Jert Waldmuller. I don't know. Waldmuller? I don't know. John Alacy. We'll say it's John Alacy. Why not? Thank you everybody so much for tuning in today. That is the start of season number 12 for PSORC. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Oh, can't do it. Thank you everybody so much for watching. My name is Alan Cavanero. We will see you next week in the PSORC channel. for another race in PSORC next Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. British Standard Time. We will see you next week. Have a safe night, everybody, and peace.